In October 2025, Meta quietly updated a single line in its attribution documentation. It confirmed something advertisers had suspected for years but could never prove. A like on your ad, not a click, not a purchase, a like, was triggering a 7-day conversion window. If someone liked your ad on Monday and bought something on Sunday, Meta counted that as your ad driving the sale. This wasn't a bug, it was documented behavior. And Meta had $165 billion in reasons to keep it exactly the way it was. Before we get into what's broken, let me show you how Meta's attribution actually works. Because most advertisers don't fully understand it, and Meta has never been in a rush to explain it clearly. When you run a Meta ad, the platform tracks every interaction a user has with that ad, and then it applies an attribution window, a set period of time during which any purchase gets credited back to that ad. The default setting is a 7-day click window and a 1-day view window. Sounds reasonable, but here's what that means in practice. That customer found you through a friend recommendation, researched you on Google, got an email reminder, and then bought. Meta's contribution? A like they may not have even noticed, and Meta gets full credit for the sale. This is not an edge case. This is the default behavior across hundreds of millions of ad accounts right now. There are 3 specific mechanisms through which Meta inflates its attribution numbers. Not 1, not 2, 3, and they work together. Understanding all 3 is the difference between reading your dashboard and actually understanding your business. Mechanism 1. View-through attribution. This credits a conversion when a user is served your ad, not clicks it, not engages with it, just has it appear in their feed, and then purchases within 24 hours. Think about how many ads appear in someone's feed on a given day. They might scroll past 40 ads, buy something from a brand they already knew about, and Meta attributes that sale to whichever ad happened to be in their feed that day. Until January 2026, this window was up to 28 days for some campaigns. 28 days. That means if someone scrolled past your ad in early November, Meta could credit itself for their Black Friday purchase. Mechanism 2. Conversion stealing. This is what happens when Meta and other platforms all claim credit for the same sale simultaneously. Here's the real-world data on this. An analysis of cross-platform attribution found that when advertisers added up Google's claimed conversions, Meta's claimed conversions, and Microsoft's claimed conversions, the total was 84% higher than their actual back-end sales. Not 10% higher, not 20%, 84%. Google said 80 conversions, Meta said 65, Microsoft said 30. The business's actual CRM recorded 95 sales. The platforms were collectively claiming 175 conversions that simply did not exist. Mechanism 3. The likes problem. And this is the one that sparked the most controversy in 2025. In October of that year, a marketing consultant named Barry Hott surfaced the exact wording from Meta's attribution documentation. It read, and I'm quoting directly here, "Clicks may include interactions such as likes, shares, and saves." The industry exploded. For years, advertisers had assumed that click-through attribution meant someone clicked a link and went to their website. What it actually meant was that someone could tap the like button on a sponsored post, never go anywhere near your website, and if they bought something within 7 days, Meta would credit your ad with that conversion. Meta wasn't hiding this. It was in the documentation. Most advertisers just never read it. Now here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Because it's not just the attribution model that has problems. It's what Meta does with that attribution data to automate your campaigns. Advantage Plus, Meta's AI-powered campaign automation, optimizes your ad delivery based on who Meta predicts will convert. Sounds great, but here's the problem. If Meta's attribution model is overcounting conversions, crediting users who were going to buy anyway, then Advantage Plus is learning to target those people. It is optimizing toward existing demand, not new demand. It is finding your best existing customers and retargeting them with your acquisition budget. An independent incrementality test on Advantage Plus campaigns found that the system generated only 17% of the conversions that Meta's standard attribution reported. Not 70%. Not 50%. 17. For every 100 conversions Meta claimed Advantage Plus drove, 83 of them would have happened anyway. The campaign was spending acquisition budget on people who were already on their way to buy, and the attribution model was making it look like a success. And before anyone says, well, that's one test, Meta's own incremental attribution tool, which rolled out in April 2025, found in its initial tests that only 13% of conversions in some accounts were non-incremental, meaning 87% were incremental in those specific cases. But those are the accounts where incrementality was already strong. The accounts with the biggest attribution problems, the retargeting-heavy accounts, the branded search-heavy accounts, are exactly the ones least likely to run the test, because the numbers would be terrifying. Everything we just covered about how Meta reports its numbers is exactly what the ROAS reality check scorecard quantifies for your specific account. You put in your Meta spend, your reported ROAS, your retargeting percentage. It tells you the estimated real number. Link in the description. In August 2025, a former Meta employee filed a whistleblower complaint with a specific and documented allegation. Meta had been including shipping fees and taxes in the revenue calculation for Shops ads when reporting ROAS to advertisers. The money that was going to FedEx and the IRS was being counted as revenue driven by Meta ads. Meta's own data scientists discovered this discrepancy during internal reviews in early 2024. Their finding, Shops ads ROAS had been inflated between 17 and 19%. And without those inflated figures, Shops ads perform no better than Meta's standard advertising products. Now, Meta disputed the whistleblower's framing and said the calculation method was disclosed. But here's the question that matters for you as an advertiser. Not whether this was intentional, not whether it was disclosed somewhere in the fine print. The question is, did the number in your dashboard reflect the actual revenue impact of your advertising on your business? And the answer, in this case, was no. The number in your dashboard included money that went to shipping companies and tax authorities, and that inflated your ROAS, and you made budget decisions based on that number. To be fair to Meta, and this is important because this video is about accuracy, not about vilifying a platform, Meta has been making real changes. In March 2026, Meta narrowed its definition of click-through attribution. Likes, shares, and saves no longer qualify as clicks for click-through conversion credit. In January 2026, the 7-day and 28-day view-through windows were removed from the API. And in April 2025, Meta launched Incremental Attribution in Ads Manager, a tool that actually tries to separate real ad-driven conversions from coincidental ones. These are genuine improvements. But here's the problem with improvement. When Meta narrows its attribution definition, your reported conversions drop, not because performance got worse, because the measurement got more accurate. And most advertisers panicked. They saw conversions fall and thought their campaigns had broken. Some of them turned off campaigns that were actually working. Others pressured their agencies for explanations that nobody had. The measurement got better. The advertiser's understanding of what the measurement meant did not. So here's the practical question. What do you actually do with this information? 3 things. First, turn on incremental attribution in Meta Ads Manager today. Go to Columns, select Custom, click Compare Attribution Settings, and check Incremental Attribution. You can see incremental data on all campaigns going back to April 2025. Look at the gap between your standard attribution and your incremental number. That gap is your inflation rate. Know it. Second, turn off one-day view-through attribution on all retargeting campaigns. This is the single biggest source of inflated results in most ad accounts. It is on by default. Turn it off and watch what your real numbers look like. Third, run a geo holdout test on your highest spend Meta campaign. Pause it in 2 comparable US markets for 4 weeks. Compare sales. The difference is your true incremental lift, not what Meta claims, but what your business actually experienced. Meta is not a villain in this story. It is a $165 billion advertising machine doing exactly what a $165 billion advertising machine does, optimizing for its own revenue inside the rules of an industry that has always rewarded impressive-looking metrics over accurate ones. The problem isn't malice. The problem is that the default settings are built for Meta's business model, not yours. And most advertisers never change the defaults. 3 settings, 30 minutes. And you'll be looking at a number that actually reflects what your advertising is doing to your business rather than what Meta is crediting itself for. That is the difference between running ads and understanding them. ROAS. Scorecard link is below, works in Excel and Google Sheets. And if you manage a media agency relationship, the Attribution Audit Kit has 30 questions to ask your agency about exactly what we covered today. Both links below in the description. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next in this series, and drop a comment. Have you turned on incremental attribution yet? If you have, what did your inflation rate look like? I want to know.